Welcome, everyone, to It Tastes Different Game Reviews. Tonight, we're going to play Payday 3. Payday 3 is a first-person shooter game developed by Starbreeze Studios and published by Deep Silver. It's a sequel to Payday 2, so if you played any of the other Paydays, this one's pretty close. It came out on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and Windows on September 21st, 2023. It's got some single-player, multiplayer components to it, but one of the big kickers is, and we'll chat about it, is that it's always online. So even if you're playing solo, you have to always be online. So if you played Payday, you're probably familiar with what this game is like, and it supposedly is taking place after the ending of Payday 2. So great place for a sequel to go right after the previous one. So we'll kind of jump in and see how everybody feels. Shane, how do you feel about Payday 3? Did it live up to your hype?
Oh boy, where do I begin? Okay. One, yes, like Pat said, it is always online. So even when you're playing with yourself, you have to have a host. There's a sentence you never thought you'd hear. So that's pretty much where this review is going. So the first night it released, the three of us with all giddy in anticipation because we haven't had a really solid co-op game to play with each other for a while. Yeah, that's kind of just laid back and do things. This one wasn't it either. This first night was about 2 hours of us waiting to connect to a host when it was set to friends only or invite only. I don't remember which one we had it set to. And then we switched it from one to the other and still nothing. So the next night, if I remember correctly, we had no problem getting on. It was like, boom, we got in. We played, we learned, we laughed, we loved, and and then that was it. We had about 4 games that night, and everything went to doo-doo again. So great. Lot of technical issues with this release. We did a video last week, myself and Nick, talking about releases and how issues, and bad game releases and blah, blah, blah. And this here is another example of the just horrid, ability of game developers now, the lack of ability, I should say, because they can't seem to release a game proper anymore. Now that said, let's jump into the actual game itself. When it works fine. Problem is what is there? It is a love-hate to it. Because when you play the game, you're basically, it's up to you how you want to succeed with the mission. But the problem is I don't think this is, and granted, I honestly don't remember much of 2. Me and Nick played it a little bit, but it was pretty difficult, and this one's about the same. But all your missions, at least for us, steered right into shootouts, essentially. So all the tech and the stealth and all that stuff, which takes forever and a day to unlock. And because it's all set on cash and level, and it takes forever to get leveled up. It takes forever to earn the right cash. I really can't say that too much about the cash, but it doesn't matter when it takes you forever to be able to unlock your next pistol. So the gameplay itself is fine overall. It's just, but it all leads to the same place, which is gunfire. Now, granted, we may not be playing it perfectly. We jump in. We didn't do the tutorial. We just walked right in and said, I got this. And first thing happened, I had a guard, cornhole me in a bank vault. So awesome there. The gameplay, when it goes from what you're trying to do, which is stealth, steal, get out, Ocean's 11 style, as Pat said, it always ended up with the pew-pews out. I don't know why I said that. I sound like a 12-year-old window licker. When that happens, the AI, basically it's like little waves that they hit you with, and each wave gets more difficult. You get guys who just throw tear gas. Then you get guys who taste the crap out of you. Then you get these ninja bastards that was the first time we saw, I believe it was Pat, just getting completely waffle stomped. He's hitting me. He's hitting me. He's hitting me. By the time we got to him, he was toast. And then you get to the next wave. It's just a huge dude. I believe he had a minigun. And there's a lot of blankness to how to play the game, which is kind of neat in its way, because you can do it your way. You can just straight up whip out your mask and tear people up. But my biggest gripe about the game is certain things you do you cannot do until you put your mask on. You cannot climb and or jump, which is a really odd choice considering I want to stealth over this fence and get up to the rooftop through this ladder, but you cannot do it unless you pick the lock and risk getting caught that way. There's just certain mechanics that I think should have been tweaked. I don't think your options of gameplay should have been limited to mask on or off. If you played it, you'll understand exactly what I mean. But once I put the mask on, I'm a fucking Power Ranger. I mean, I can take 1,000 bullets. I can, shoot 1,000,000 bullets. But I can only carry one bag of cash at a time, which just irritates the living crap out of me, at least at the beginning. So it's just there's odd choices to the game, but overall, a Game Pass game, I would recommend it to jump in and kill time. Once they fix it and you can actually jump in to kill time. I would, because it's one of those games. I don't think our go-to game for co-op used to be Rainbow Six Siege. Hey guys, you want to just do something? Sure. Rainbow Six. All right. That was our go-to game for just doing whatever and laughing and joking and just chatting. This is that type of game, really. Granted, maybe if we took it a little more serious, we wouldn't get violated so bad. But, but that is just my opinion. I think it's a good Game Pass game, but not until they fix the online issues. So, but when it was online, I think it worked rather well. So, Nick, what about you, bud? Are you the Gold Ranger, White Ranger, Brown Ranger, Crystal Meth Ranger?
I'm all the Rangers. Yeah, I mean,
Rainbow.
This game can be summed up in no one cared who I was until I put on the mask. And to quote Bane.
Oh, I thought that was Puss in Boots.
It might be. He might have said that as well. But Puss in Boots doesn't wear a mask. He just wears a hat. He's a cat. Anywho, yeah, I mean, this game has a lot of, having the only online option. There's I think the old Paydays had solo options, right? They weren't always online, not live action, but live service games. But this one is, and this game is right now, as it stands, just marred with matchmaking server issues. Most of the time, we usually get in and we can get a couple of matches in, maybe. And then after that, it's like the game's like, nope, you're done. You got your 2. Move on. That's how they're going to extend the longevity. Only let you play 2 matches a day, and then you got to wait till 24 hours the next day to do it again. Besides those factors, I would agree with Shane. There's some love-hate with it, right? I mean, playing with your buddies in there and just going in and shooting stuff is a lot of fun. Just having a cooperative good time. The other aspect is like, I wish this game was more rooted in, it tries to root itself in reality and at the same time not, right? I mean, like when you're going into stealth and stuff, it tries to be very particular about how you go about that. But then when it comes to, a part where you're putting the mask on and now you have to shoot, the game's like, all right, let's just go nuts. Right. And I wish because then you have like Shane said, you got ninja cops and you got taser cops and you got big armored cops and you just got a bunch of stupid like I wish that system was more kind of based on reality. I really wish it was kind of like more of like Hitman Payday 3, right? Or Hitman Payday, right? Where I can like change costumes and like stuff, because like even when you don't have the mask on, like it tells you, for example, and again, Shane might be absolutely right, might be just doing things wrong and don't know what the hell we're doing. So, but we never have figured it out. But on the big, like one of the maps you're supposed to go into this room where there's a lone officer in there, and like it doesn't give you any options to do anything. You can't grab them, you can't do anything unless you put the mask on. But then once you put the mask on, it's like, well, then, shit hits the fan at that point because you can't take it off. Trust me, these guys have tried. They've thrown plenty of grenades trying to do so because on the Xbox, it's the same button. So, I just wish there was more mechanics when it came to the stealth part where you could, like Shane was saying, where you could jump or you could do other things, because it seems like even though the game is very particular about what it wants you to do, it doesn't give you a lot of options to do those things, right? It's like pickpocket or a pick lock. You can't even pickpocket. Like, sometimes key cards, well, at least what it seems like is key cards might be on NPCs. And it's like, what if I could like sneak up and like take the key card off of them, right? But I mean, I don't know if it is for sure, but a lot of times when we've looked for key cards, it's not till after the shooting starts that I end up finding a key card on the ground next to an NPC. And so I assume that they had it and that's how I got there. So yeah, I just wish it was more grounded in, and most of the time I like my games to be fantastical, but I wish this game was more grounded in reality with a lot of its stuff, especially with the police portion of it, and just kind of going in like all aspects of it, like being able to jump and do everything stealth wise when you don't have the mask on. Maybe it adds to more complexity, because I'm not saying that it can't be done, right? It can be. People have done it. So it can be done. I mean, there's videos of people already doing it, right, in this game when they can get into play. But as a team, it's difficult. I mean, you could definitely do it, but there's this game it's a fun cooperative game to play with your friends, I think, to just shoot some time away and just have some, just to do something. We do that a lot with some other games that we have. So it's one of those games that I could see us, hopping on from time to time. I always worry about a game like this, and I wondered how Payday 2 did it with just the longevity of it, right? After doing, and we did all the maps, I think there was 8 or 9, and probably about 8, I would say, maps. And while they're fun, like, I guess doing them again would be either getting more money or trying to perform the heist without getting caught, right? That would be the kind of replay value of these. And also leveling up. But like Shane said, the leveling system is way too, I mean, we've played quite a bit, and we're level, like, I don't know, I think we're in the teens somewhere in our levels. And still, I've unlocked like 2 weapons and barely anything. There's a crap ton of stuff to unlock, but it's just higher level. And it's like, I think the unlocks and the leveling, either the leveling system needs to be quicker or what you unlock needs to be faster, because I've pretty much been using the same weapons that we started with the game ever since. The most I've done and the most money I've spent in this game is customizing my character and coloring my weapons bright pink and green and stuff like that. Look like toy guns. So I think, I think the mask designs are pretty cool. It's some pretty cool mask designs. And again, the outfits, like, I want to change outfits and buy new outfits. But again, we only have 4 unlocked so far. And it's like, why can't I have more, just unlock more or something like that. Plus, this game also introduces these little chips, which is basically like cryptocurrency, I guess, in the game. They're not microtransaction, but they're called C-stacks. And it's basically just another currency where you have to use cash to buy the C-stacks. You only buy so many. And when you buy like 9, for example, it goes up in price every single time. So that gives you, well, supposed to give you more incentive to do jobs, so you get more money to buy more C stacks, because there's a lot of cosmetics and other stuff that's higher level that requires C stacks to purchase. Which just, I don't know, that just feels like me like an artificial inflation of the longevity of the game, right? To push it out longer. Oh, you have to buy these, and we're going to give you a small amount of these. And it takes a lot of cash. So you need a lot of cash to buy a small amount, and you can only buy so many every, what is it, like 12 hours or something like that, or 6 hours or something.
It's on a day streak. So it's
24 hours.
It was when it first came out, but when we were buying last night, they were like 5.5 day countdown timers on them.
Oh, they're 5 days. Okay.
Well, probably like 6 or 7 days.
Probably
it
like
switched to a longer time frame on it. That I do remember. So
yeah, because it had reset at one point. So it's like, okay, so a week's time, right? And if you were to buy them all, I mean, you would have enough to buy maybe 1, maybe 2 cosmetic items, or possibly the bigger guns when you get down to the further levels. And again, that's just a way to artificially inflate it. I just worry about the longevity of the game, right? I mean, being a live service, they would have to constantly bring out content updates for people to continue to play, because I would say in a month's time, like if we really liked this game, like really, really liked this game, within a month's time, if they didn't come out with new content, being not new cosmetics, but new heists or new ways to take on heists or various things like that, new game content, then, we would probably be like, all right, well, we'll come back when they actually do something. Right. And then, then the game just ends up getting lost in the sauce in a sense, and, never picked up again. So I don't know. I mean, I think they're changed to a live service, and whatever changes they've done. We didn't play a lot of Payday 2, so we can't really relate to that. Apparently with Payday 2, from what I've read, they did a ton of constant content updates all the time, because I know that game was still played and probably still played today. But you have those people that are big fans of this series. I just wish it was more grounded in, I don't know, for me, grounded in more of reality, or more like Hitman style, which is more like, changing disguises and things like that. That would be cool, I think, especially doing it with your friends, right? Hitman's a lot of fun, but you can only do it by yourself, right? You are the hitman. Whereas like, hey, can we all be hitmen and then go in and heist and rob this place and like do it like Ocean's 11? Like, I want to go in and come down on the skylight, and through the laser grid, like in Mission Impossible or something. I want to do crap like that, like night missions where there's no people there and you got to break into like a highly secured vault, and have like crazy gear and stuff and everything to get through, like, little dust thing where you can see where the lasers are, out there, and you got to like do stuff. That would be cool, to do things like that. But it's all during the day. You're all just kind of like, I don't know, just petty thieves looking to score big.
I would rather be Hudson Hawk, but you could be my Danny Aiello.
There you go. Anyway, that's what I think about it. It's an all right game. It's a fun game to probably have in our co-op rotation, but it's got a lot of work to do. And the always online portion of it's really hindering its, people's patience, I think. If they don't fix it and fix it quick, I think people will lose interest and move on. So what do you think, Pat?
I don't think you can stealth this game. The way we play, you can't, obviously. I mean, we did one mission where we've done it multiple times. I think Nick was kind of alluding onto it. It's the Shark Bank one, the bank killed shark or whatever bank, where there's one part, once you get to the part where it's like you need to escort the bank manager to have him let you in, but you can't do any of that without initiating mask mode, where you put on the mask. Because we were in his office and he's just sitting there, and if he catches you in his office, it like starts to flag you as noticed, because it's a restricted area. But it's like, how am I going to escort him to the vault to have him unlock the cage without initiating combat, or something like that? So I don't know. I played all the tutorials and they don't go into a lot of detail with that. There's some stealth missions in there. They talk about all that and like luring and things like that. But, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. the stealth is either really, really difficult, like top tier difficulty, or we just don't know how to play the game. So, because I mean, I've tried, like we've tried that one, I don't know how many times. And every time we get to the part with the bank manager or the loan officer, whatever the heck he is, he's like in his office and I'm like rummaging through his crap to find the key card that he's got. And you're just like, he's standing right there. How do I keep him from seeing me? You know, it's not like somebody can walk in his office and distract him while you're rooting through all of his crap, you know? So it just makes it more difficult. And, you know, combat seems to be the easier way to get away with everything as long as you can, you know, fight through all the waves. So, which we have not had problem with any of the waves, you know. Now, granted, we did do a mission on hard and got raffle stomped, trying to just firefight our way through it. But, you know, I have my biggest complaints of this game is every time we seem to sit down to play session, the servers are down. The hamsters died, the gerbils died. They just ran out of everything. You know, there's steam coming out of the servers. They just can't handle any more people playing. And so we'll get the first night we tried to play, we sat there for 3 or 4 hours trying to get in and couldn't get in. The next night we got in and got like, I think a game in or two. And then it crashed. We couldn't get back in. And then we played another night with Russ. We actually got in like 3 games or 4 games. And then when we were getting ready to do the last game of the night between all of us, it just was like, nope, you're done. Started having, the host started getting errors about, you know, putting a group, you know, matchmaking error. So I think, you know, a lot of people are calling for an offline mode. There's no sense if you're playing solo or if you don't need to do matchmaking, like in our case, that you need to be online. You know, you need to be. I understand that it's pretty much server hunting. It's not matchmaking for you. It's server hunting, but their servers just can't handle the workload. So it's getting a lot of bad reviews and review bomb because of that. Now, by the time you see this video, they are supposed to be putting in the day that we are posting this video, which will be Friday. They will supposedly be putting in a patch that morning or doing some hardware maintenance that morning to make it more stable. So by the time you see this on the 29th of September, it may or may not be better. Well, we shall know. We'll find out. But I think this game is way too slow paced to have longevity, at least for me, because I'm in Nick's boat. I'm like, man, I haven't unlocked anything worthwhile in a damn while. You know, I'm running the same exact rifle that I started out with. I just keep adding on mods to it. Every time I unlock one, I go in and check it out. I'm like, okay, I want to put on the silencer on this gun, and I want to put this stock in this magazine, and you know, and I bought a mask different than the one I started with, and I upgraded my gun, and I spec'd into a completely different line, spending skill points and things like that. But I've got more money than I know what to do with, and that's really where the C stacks come in, because I just dump money into there, to be honest, because I'm like, I got millions of dollars in cash, but I can't unlock anything. And the cosmetic, don't get me started on the cosmetic. It is garbage cosmetic. Like, we'll unlock every so many levels. You'll unlock one of something that's going to be, you're going to unlock a weapon, or you'll unlock a suit, or you'll unlock some gloves, or you'll unlock some, you know, anything else, mask, colors for the mask, paint, all this crap. It is so stupid. Like, if you want to paint your mask bright green, well, you got to wait till you reach that level. You know, if you want a certain mask, got to wait till you reach a certain level. And I'm not talking like level 20. There's stuff that's stuck behind level 100 plus out there. And I'm 15, and we've gotten to play, you know, we couldn't play Thursday. We played a little bit Friday night. We played some Saturday with Russ. We couldn't get in on Sunday when we tried to play. And then we played 2 or 3 games on Monday. So 2 games on Monday, we started getting server errors again. And so, you know, it's just not, I don't like the pacing of the game, and the weapons aren't that much better. Like, you know, if you want a specific weapon type, that's where this unlocking weapons gets you, right? Because you start out with the ability to use a pistol, a shotgun, or an assault rifle. And it's like, okay, so you're going to unlock a different pistol, the Magnum for like the first pistol, and then you unlock a marksman rifle, and then this and this and that. And they're not that much better than anything else, right? You know, obviously a marksman rifle is going to hit a little harder because it's one trigger pull to one fire. Assault rifles just hold down the trigger and it bursts, you know, fires off, all that. But, you know, the cosmetic costume stuff is stupid. Like, there's 6 or 7 different variations of the same suit. And what I mean by that is it's the same damn suit with just different color variations. So they didn't make it to where you could buy a suit and change the color of it. They just said at level 18, you can unlock this suit. At 21, you can unlock this one. At 27, this one. And they're all the tracksuit. Just one of them's black, one of them's orange, one of them's purple, one of them's green. I'm like, the stupidest shit imaginable. And the gloves are the same way. It's like the first 5 or 6 gloves you can unlock. Okay, we got a black pair, we got a red pair, we got a green pair, we got a purple pair. No difference. And I'm like, it is the stupidest way to do cosmetic upgrades, because that's all they are. It's cosmetic. I'm like looking through. I looked all the way through to level 100. I'm like, not a damn one of these outfits is better than what I'm wearing. The way I look, the way I want to look, right? So I think that's stupid. And then, you know, you're like, I want this specific paint color to paint my mask or to paint my gun, and you're like, oh, that's locked behind level 47. You know, and you're just like, oh god. So it's like false RPG, really. The only thing that you can do that really matters is find the guns you like and then unlock the mod slots for them by using that weapon in combat. And then you're like, because you level up your weapon independent of your personal level. So, and that's how you unlock mods for the gun. You're like, okay, you reach level 10 with the gun, and now you can add this sight or this stock or this underbarrel. And it's marginal increases, like negligible increases on anything you do. But the only thing that's really helpful is you can put a silencer on there so that you can go in mass on and just silently kill people so they don't like catch on that you're in there assassinating people, right? So there are stuff like that just right. I mean, this game to me has no longevity because there's exorbitant, stupid number of levels, and the items that you get for the unlocks are not worth the time and effort. Because I'll be honest with you, we ran all the maps, we ran them multiple times. I'm extremely bored with the game because there's no variation. We've tried stealthing it, and sometimes you run into like the hiccup with the loan manager, the loan officer, and I'm like, okay, well, this is just stupid. I guess we're going in loud, you know. And if you get spotted in the restricted area, there's nothing you can do to reset it, right? You're not going to run out of the building and hide because then they just chase you down and arrest you. So once you get spotted, it's over. It's going in noisy at that point. I would really prefer to see an Ocean's 11 style game like these guys said with your party. You know, it's like, all right, Shane, I need you to go get the waiter outfit. Nick, you're going to go get the bathroom attendant outfit, and I'm going to go get the cleaning lady outfit, and we're going to infiltrate this, this whatever. We're going to infiltrate this hotel and rob all these people blind. But no, it doesn't feel like that. It's the stealth mechanics are really, they need a lot more help. They need a lot more. So you're going to be spending all your early time just playing the game loud and fast to earn cash to buy stuff you want, and then dump into the C stacks because some of the cosmetic items, and I don't understand why they decided to do this. Besides a place to dump your cash, like I said, we played that little bit amount of time and I had over 2 million in cash, and I probably spent another 400,000 or 500,000 in cash. I have nowhere to put it but the C stacks to dump it. It's a dumping thing right now because like gloves, they all take C stack currency. The mask, I think some of the later level masks take that. There's some paint, there's some schemas, mask designs and stuff. So there's different things they hide behind that currency, but I've not found anything I really want to spend any of the money on, to be honest. So, and I'm still sitting on a little over a little over $2 million in cash in the game, and I'm like, I don't have anything to do with it. It's just sitting there. I need to make my money work for me. How do I do that in Payday? I need to invest it.
That's a good point, though. Just earning money, there's such a variety in how much you can earn from one mission to the other, and it's not like, well, I can make $100,000 more here, guys. No, you're making 500,000 to 700,000 more on one mission than you are another. So why the hell would you play the other mission? I mean, you earn 7 times that amount playing the other mission. So why go use that one? Why play that one? It's lots of fun ideals, but nothing I think is being pulled off as well as it needs to be.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I would rather play Rainbow Six than this. I mean, I hate to say that, but there's no variety here, right? Like in Rainbow, I can go, let's do a hostage rescue mission. Cool. We can vary it up with that. Let's do a bomb defusal mission. let's do we take the hostage mission. We're putting the bomb down mission. Let's do an elimination mission. Here it's like, okay, do I want to rob one of two banks? Do I want to rob this art gallery? Do I want to rob an armored car? Do I want to, this, it's all, there's no like anything that's, the stealth abilities, the stealth stuff we're still trying to perfect. But at a certain point, you're just like, once you've done that, so once you've been able to what I would consider perfect a mission, which is basically do the entire thing from stealth, all of them can be done completely stealth except for the armored car one, right? The armored truck or whatever. That one puts you in combat immediately when the truck shows up. But the others can be done stealthily completely. I've read and I'm like, okay, cool. That's the only thing that we have yet to do. But at that point, it's like, all right, I've 100% completed this in stealth. I've done this normally with run and gun in it. And then what is the next thing? We got to do it on hard. Bore me to tears is what I'm going to say to that, because there's no variety at that point. They better pump something out, because we got 8 or 9 maps and we ran the gambit on them. And what little bit that we've been able to play, mind you, we've not played like massive amount of playtime. So to me, this game doesn't have staying power or longevity. They're going to start putting out content, but they don't have a microtransaction market set up. So their only longevity is they're going to be selling content, right? They're going to be like, oh, you want this skin pack? You want this map pack? What do you want? Right. So to do that, they're going to have to, that's what they're going to do. They're going to sell these content packs, like the season pass. I think one of the versions comes with the season pass or something. So that's what they're going to start selling. I'm not about that. So you guys got any other things you want to talk about? I mean, I've been kind of railing on a little hard. I mean, it was fun while it lasted, but at the point that I'm like, we've done everything, I don't have a reason to continue playing to reach level 200 or whatever the cap is right now to unlock all this crap, because I don't see the cosmetic stuff, in my opinion, isn't varied enough to be meaningful.
No, and I agree. I agree with you. I don't think there's anything to strive for, right? There's nothing there's not a goal to focus on, unless you just want to focus on reaching a certain level to unlock certain cosmetics or certain weapons. But then the problem I have with it is, like, if you wanted to reach level 50, by the time you get to level 50, you've already played all the maps like umpteenth thousands times. And it's like, I don't want to do the bank again. And I don't want to do this one again. And I agree. I think there should be variations, right? I mean, there is variations on the maps as far as like enemy placements and camera placements. Those do change from time to time, especially, and also where the loot is, right? It can rearrange itself on the map from time to time. But beyond that, there's really no like variations on the maps, right? Like the first one, what about, it's always during the day. What about nighttime, or the bank is closed, or, the bank is closed and it has like night security, right? And you got to go through that. Just variations on it, or you're in there to do X, Y, or Z compared to, during the daytime, you're in there to do X, right? You're in there to get the money. And this one, they have like a secret vault underneath it or something like that you found out. And then but you can only do that one at night because, during the day, it's really heavily guarded or something like that. I don't know. Some crap like that. But I mean, like, just variations in that fact would lead more to longevity. And they don't have microtransactions in this game, but you're right, Pat. They're going to sell you the content. And that's going to be where, I hang it up and say, nah, I'm good on that.
Yeah. Well, Payday 2 launched with 12 maps. This one launched with 8. If they're going to launch with only 8, I think, Nick, you're dead on. I mean, they portray the game like, all right, guys, you bring this, we'll bring the zip line, for instance, for this kind of mission. They could stretch that longevity out by giving you the choice of time of day. So you'd have 3 times a day. You'd have opening time, then you'd have right before close, or you'd have at night. Each mission has different types of guards and things like that. sneak to the bank manager's house and take pictures of him and his mistress, blackmail him to get into the vault next days. I know that's a little fetch, but come on, doesn't that sound kind of cool? I mean, it definitely has more fun to it than, all right, let's go up the ladders. Pat, you accidentally throw the grenade, and we'll just assassinate everything with a pulse. Because that's pretty much what happened. So
yeah. And I'll say, this isn't a $70 game by any means. It's a $40 game. We got on Game Pass, so if you got Game Pass, you get to play. That's a benefit of it. It's $40, so like I said, my biggest complaint is just what I've stated. I think, and we don't know when they're going to come out with the next content update, right? I don't think I've seen there is a roadmap out there, but I don't know how. I didn't look to see if the dates were planned out, or if it just said this is what you're getting in the next piece. There's supposed to be something coming this winter, something coming in spring, something in summer, and something next fall. That's all we know for sure. There's 4 content, or year 1, I think was what they're calling it, the Bad Apples content. So it'll unfortunately, it's just going to be a slow roll. And it may be too slow for people like me. If you don't I have a hard time coming back to a game I played, and that's what's going to be the problem here. Is I'm going to be like, I moved on, Payday, and I don't have, and if I come back, I'll be like, okay, I'll just come back, check out the new maps, and then move on because your content is too slow. You have pigeonholed all the content, all the cosmetics that I really want. Because even the guns. It's like, what type of gun do you want? Do you want a pistol? You want a shotgun? You want an assault rifle? You want a regular rifle? What do you want? Okay, we got those. So you unlock those, and then you mod the hell out of it. And then we have this super special edition ones that are, once you reach level 100 and go towards 200, you can unlock the special edition version of those guns, which looks to be purely cosmetic. Nothing like their stats aren't different or anything like that I can see. So, too slow roll for me. But you guys got anything else before we try to take off the mask?
The only thing I'd say is, Payday 2, it looks like did the same thing with the content updates that you buy. Payday 2 has a ton, because I'm looking at their official site. They have a ton of content updates, and some of them look really cool. They have John Wick heists. They have a Yakuza heist. They have all sorts of cool stuff on there. So Pat might be right. This might be one of those games where it releases and you're cool, and then you don't play it for 2 years, and then you buy all the content in a game of the year or special edition or something like that includes everything, and then you just go through the content with your buddies and play through it and everything, because then it would be stacked with content, right? I think coming out of the gate, it's a little bare bones, and I'm sure Payday 2 was probably the same way, even though, like Shane said, it did release with more maps, but it was probably bare bones when it released. But after so much content update, because looking at their official site, there is a ton of stuff in here. I've never seen so many content updates. I don't know the variety of those content updates as far as what they all include, right? I'm sure there's more than just this content update includes 5 weapon skins. I would hope. But that might be the case for this game, for Payday in general, where it's more of come back in a couple years and then check the game out type of thing.
Yeah, so they're going to run this as a game to service, so just be mindful of that. We're being a little rough on it, but it's also been a horrible launch experience. So we've not gotten to play it as much as we wanted, and stuff like that. So, let us know what you think. Do you got Game Pass? Are you going to check this one out, or are you going to sit this one out? Check it out or sit it out. What you going to do? If we weren't reviewing it, it probably would have been one of those ones that we're like, all right, I'll catch you in a year when we see all the year 1 content. And that's probably what I would do with it. I would come bum rush a whole year's worth of content, and then come back in another year and bum rush the whole year's content, because they're going to put it on sale, right? Like Nick said. So let us know. What do you think about it? Did you get to play? Or were you in the same boat as us, plagued by matchmaking problems, even though we weren't matchmaking? So let us know down in the comments, and maybe we'll see you in the heist. There's plenty of heisters going on out there. If the servers can handle it, they got to replace those gerbils and hamsters this weekend. So let us know what you think. And you reached the end of this video. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Help us out. It's free. It's always free to subscribe and hit that bell to get notified when we put out new videos. So we hope you enjoyed this episode and hope to catch you in the next one.
See ya.